Hey guys, what's up? My name is Anthony. Welcome to another edition of B&A Sports Talk, and it is ranking season. I'm pretty sure all Giants fans saw the article or saw somebody talk about the article that came out, ranking Joe Judge the 23rd best head coach out of 25. We saw that same article with Pat Shurmur a couple years ago, but we believed it. We were like, yeah, he probably is the 23rd. Yeah, that's probably right. No. It is not. It's ranking season. People are going to make lists. That's going to be the theme for the next couple months. People are going to have hot takes. But the guy basically goes on and says, Joe Judge is making a parody out of the NFL. He's like, I have multiple examples. The examples he used is just like the end of the season, his press conference talking about the Eagles, and then I think making coaches run. You got to realize what he was dealing with. He had to set a foundation. He is 38 years old, and he's a former PE coach. He's trying to establish something here. He has to establish himself as a coach. What happens if he come in and said, okay, guys, you can do whatever you want. It's a pandemic season. Let's not have discipline. We saw that. It's called Ben McAdoo. You have one good season, maybe, and then everyone kind of revolts because they don't know who the leader is. He wanted to set himself up as the leader. And, and especially with the tennis balls in hands, a bunch of coaches are doing that now. It's a smart thing to do. You know, some of it may have been a little bit haughty-taughty, like the numbers, like now, but that's what he wants to do. And the players don't respond, they don't respond. But, hey, here's this. They responded. And they're responding this year once again. And now you have to start winning. That's the key thing. Eventually, the message kind of goes if you're not winning, especially with a guy like Dan Campbell, who I think is a real parody of the NFL. But I want to have one more point about Joe Judge. The Philly thing, of course, he prefaced the whole thing saying, we went 6-10. We got to win. We got to win more. Yeah, I'm in no position. But he's like, I'll never lose. And that's an important quote by Joe Judge. People are going to remember that. The players are going to remember that statement. And when you have a guy like Dan Campbell, he comes speaking, and with Joe Judge, he had like a presence. It's not like a fake presence. It's really hard to walk into a room and command it. And I don't think Dan Campbell can do that. He's a bunch of coach speak. I think it's a little bit empty. And just listen to him speak. I'm sorry for you audio listeners, because I'm not going to put this in the podcast. But if you listen to him speak, it's just empty, and it's similar to Pat Shurmur. So I'm going to play both of them, and they sound very much the same.
Any loss that we take, we're going to make sure we feel the full pain of it and not go numb to it and learn from it and not to want to taste it again. All right, we're going to be competitive every game. I can't sit up here and guarantee wins and losses because they're going to take on the identity of this city. All right, the ones that have to learn, man, it ain't always going to be roses up here. Everything's going to be, the way that we all want it to be and look perfect. But I know this, man, we're going to fight, we're going to scratch, and we're going to claw. And I know the good teams find a way to get it.
What matters in life are tough people. Tough people that are resilient, right? And no matter what happens, just keep going, right? That's part of learning. That's part of flipping culture. That's part of learning how to win, is digging down and understanding how important resiliency is. We can beat anybody we play if we play the right way.
So Pat Shurmur, he's like, we're going to win. I believe. No, at least with Pat Shurmur, you had an idea. You thought he knew something about offense, but he's not going to make a player run through a wall. It's just like, what is this guy? Like, does he know anything about defense? Does he know anything about the timeouts and stuff? With Dan Campbell, it's like a meathead. He's going to motivate guys. He's like, we're going to be big. And by the way, I thought big was bad. I thought, Dave Gettleman, like the Hogs, people like, they love the way he's building the team. It's not the way Dave Gettleman kind of built the team. Now, the running back, maybe not the best pick, but, we have one of the best running backs in the league and whatever. But that's a different conversation for a different day. But Dan Campbell is going to be the meathead. Yeah, what happens when you start losing? It's all great saying, we're going to win so many games. You're going to win. You're going to probably go 2-3 to start the year because your players are really motivated. Then it's just like, does this guy know what he's talking about? Now, Anthony Lynn, good head coach. I forgot who they had defensively, but good offensive coordinator. Not really too much. Oh, he's a pretty good leader of men as well. But his play calling was a little bit questionable. They're going to be a run-first team. And as far as Jared Goff, man, he did, I'll preface it, he did fairly well at the end of last year, dealing with the whole thing. I even forgot their quarterback's name, their backup guy. I forgot his name. That's how irrelevant he was. And Sean McVay liked him more because he's smarter. He can execute an offense. Maybe it's easy for Jared Goff this year. Actually, it might be. Hand the ball off to DeAndre Swift and run behind either Penei Sewell. Who's their left tackle? I always forget his name. And their center, Frank Ragnow. It's going to be relatively easy as it can be. Just hand it off because they have no playmakers. They have nobody to throw it to. And now the Giants have people to throw it to now, but the Lions don't. There's a full rebuild there. And when he was facing the line of fire, when he had to run around in the pocket, he wasn't good. When he stands in the pocket, he's a really good deep ball. That game against Kansas City, I think he had a game against the Vikings. It's just like, whoa. The ball flies out of his hand. He made it to the Super Bowl. There's a reason why. Because of a bad penalty call. But also because, he shows spurts of being a good quarterback kid. But does he have that fight? Does he have that Detroit mindset? Dude has given everything in his life. But, yeah. So, let's switch up to another Giants topic. Because it is 100 days until the NFL season officially kicks off versus Denver. I'm not doing a score prediction today. I apologize for that. But I want to talk a little bit about Daniel Jones once again. We talk about Daniel Jones daily on this podcast. And I basically want to talk about the theory of quarterbacks and backup quarterbacks. And basically, Chris Sims said, Aaron Rodgers and Jordan Love is a good thing. Now, in that scenario, it is. Because you see how bad Jordan Love is. And bring in Aaron Rodgers. But he also mentions if Jordan Love is good, then you can get rid of Aaron Rodgers. You have flexibility like that. That's not a scenario where you want to be in. That is not. It's about leadership. It's about knowing who to account for. Because people start taking sides. People on the Giants roster know it's Daniel Jones. People in Minnesota know it's Kirk Cousins. Maybe for a little bit. In Tampa know it's Tom Brady. You have a guy you can answer to. Guy you can go out with, have steak dinners with. Then you have a backup quarterback that knows his role as well. Be in quarterback meetings, be able to have the competent offense to come in and, like that role, like being a backup. They don't have to need to be a starter. They don't have to be the ultimate competitor because people compare goaltenders to quarterbacks. Oh, it's a unique position. It's the only one on the field. There are a bunch of forwards on the field. There's a bunch of tackle, whatever. No, it's different. The goalie's wearing a mask. He doesn't talk to anybody. He's standing there between the pipes. The quarterback's involved in every single play. He touches the ball every single play. He's in the huddle. He's saying, guys, ready, set, go. Let's go. Daniel Jones, his first game. Guys, let's fucking drive down the field and we're going to fucking score right now. That's what it was. It wasn't, hey, guys, yeah, I'm back over here. You guys execute the play and I'll be playing defense. No, that wasn't it. It's a little bit different. And, you have scenarios where you have two. If they say, I believe it, if you have two quarterbacks competing for a job, you really have no quarterbacks. Because that means either both of them are really bad where they're competing, or they're two really good quarterbacks, and they're going to have people pick sides. Either way, people are going to pick sides. Mitch Trubisky, Nick Foles, we saw how that worked last year. They went 9-7. Because you have a decent coach, decent roster. But really, didn't that hurt the team? There's some people on Mitch's side, some people on Nick's side. You had the Eagles as well. Some people were on Carson Wentz's side. Some people were on Nick Foles' side. You had a shrine, people making a shrine. It separates the locker room and it's not good for a team. You want people to compete. You want to say, hey, compete. You want the jersey numbers. Hey, Mac Jones, compete with Cam Newton. Yeah, that's when you don't have a quarterback. You're trying to figure it out. Once you have that quarterback, I think you got to stick with him. I talked a bit about yesterday about, you got to switch. Switching could be a good option. I don't know. But that's when you don't really have two really good options. And, you're going to have people deciding who to play for. You're going to have, you're going to have guys blocking. They're like, I don't believe in this guy. This guy can't throw. Or I don't believe in this guy. This guy can't run. There's benefits and drawbacks to everybody. But you have Mike Glennon. He knows the offense. He's able to come in a pinch. And ideally, you don't want your quarterback to be injured. It happened one time with Nick Foles, and all of a sudden people are like, oh, yeah, you need a good backup quarterback. No, he went on, the best 2-game run of any quarterback in NFL history. You can't repeat that. You can't. And they beat, you can't. It's just ridiculous what they want them to do. And then finally, it's just a little topic. I'm going to go silent again for a couple seconds for you audio listeners. But basically, a guy, it's hot take season, and I have hot takes. I understand. Hot takes are hot takes. But he has a take on Joe Judge, and I want you guys to listen.
Yeah, look, the number of turnovers there is fairly staggering. And Daniel Jones wasn't drafted in the 3rd round as, well, if it works out, great. And if it doesn't, so be it. Joe Judge, bit of a rocky first year, getting rid of staff members, having some confrontations, the team not really making a lot of strides. And then they go out and spend a bunch of money on the offensive side of the ball. So yeah, I think it's a bit of a do or die situation for Daniel Jones, and I'm not a big Daniel Jones guy. And Nobody else was hiring Joe Judge when they hired Joe Judge. Nobody else was taking Daniel Jones with that draft pick when they took Daniel Jones with that draft pick. And if they continue to be the cellar dwellers that they've been, then yeah, I think heads are going to roll.
Well, it wasn't really a tick about Joe Judge, more like about Daniel Jones and saying he's going to be a coach killer. I think as long as we're good with penalties, the defense is good, and it's just Daniel Jones and Jason Garrett suck, okay, deport them. Gone. That's it. Dave Gettleman, you're gone too. I think Joe Judge is going to stay because it feels like we have something special. Now, if we're unbuttoned up, if all of a sudden we're losing easy games, the team feels like it's undisciplined, we're getting out of control, it's a lot of, then that's like worst case scenario. That's doomsday. But I do think that Joe Judge has his team under wraps. And I think even if Daniel Jones plays bad, now, I think Daniel Jones is going to have a good season because if people say, I made a video talking about pressure. He has relatively low pressure, not as much pressure as people are thinking. The pressure is coming with time and offense, and you have to know the offense. You have to know everything like that because you've been in the league for a while. It's not coming from the weapons. Because think about it, if he had 0 weapons, how much pressure would be under Daniel Jones? A lot. It's called Sam Darnold. That they got rid of him because they had a bad pick. So the pressure is not on Daniel Jones. It's on everybody to succeed. Because if this team is bad, it might blow up. But hope you guys did enjoy this video. Let me know what you guys think. And I guess I'll see you guys in my next video if you want to. Just kidding. Bye, guys.